Sit. I want to tell you something that happened a long time ago. Not to me, but to a woman I knew. When I was still a girl small enough to sit under her kitchen table and listen. Her name was Yelena, and what she did one winter night, I did not understand it then, I understand it now. It was the hardest winter anyone remembered, the kind where the cold gets into the walls and stays there, where every family counted what little they had, twice, 3 times, hoping the number would change. Yelena had a husband gone, taken by sickness 2 years before, and 3 children, and a single loaf of bread. Not a full pantry, not a hidden reserve, 1 loaf meant to last her family through to market day, still 4 days away. That night, there came a knock. A man stood there, a stranger, thin as a fence post, snow thick on his shoulders. Eyes hollow the way eyes get when a body has forgotten what warmth feels like. He did not beg. He only said quietly, "I have not eaten in 3 days. I do not ask for charity, only work, if you have any, in trade for a little bread." Yelena's children stood behind her, watching. She had 4 days of bread, for 4 mouths already. Giving to a 5th meant someone would go hungry. She thought of her children's stomachs, and still she went to the shelf, and she cut the loaf in half, and she gave the stranger the larger piece. Not the smaller piece, mind you, the larger piece. She told him there was no work needed, only that he eat and rest by her fire. Her own children ate less bread that week. She herself, I think, ate almost none of it at all, though she never said this part aloud. By morning the man was gone before the family woke. No name left behind, no promise, only the space by the fire, still faintly warm. And a small carved wooden bird left on the table, likely all he had to give in return. Yelena kept that bird her whole life. It sat on her windowsill through every season, through the children growing. She never spoke of the stranger often. Now, here is the part that still makes the hair on my arms rise. 40 years later, Yelena, an old woman herself by then, living alone. A knock came at her door, much like that first knock. An old man stood there, well-dressed, not thin, not hollow-eyed. He asked simply, "Do you remember a night, 40 years ago, when a stranger came to your door in the snow?" Yelena did not recognize him. How could she? But something in his voice made her hand go still on the doorframe. He told her how her bread had saved his life, how he had found work, learned a trade, and built a life he never expected to have. He had never forgotten the woman who gave him the larger half of her only loaf. He had spent years, quietly, trying to find her again. He did not come with a grand gesture. He came only to say thank you and to sit with her a while, the way she had once let him sit by her fire. He made certain in the years that followed that Yelena never wanted for anything again, out of something closer to love. I tell you this story not because it happens often. You do not give bread to a stranger hoping for a wooden bird and a knock 40 years later. You give it because someone is hungry and you have bread, even if giving means you yourself will have less. What you give away with an open hand rarely truly leaves you. It simply waits somewhere to come back to you in a shape you could never predict. So, the next time you have little and someone has less, remember Yelena and her loaf of bread. Old ways, real wisdom. I'll see you next time.